Hello and welcome back. It's great to see you in this video, and we are in step 6, where we are going to be digging deeper into our target audience. So in the last step, step 5, you decided who your target audience should be based on information that you gathered. And in this one, we are going to dig deeper and figure out more about the needs and the wants and the likes and the dislikes and all of these things about your target audience, so we can talk to them and we can create services and merchandise and all of these different types of things in such a way that it deeply impacts their lives. And so that is what we're going to be doing in this video. And so the question we're going to ask is, what motivates your target audience? And so from a very, very brief and generalized perspective, kind of a psychological perspective, there are 2 things that motivate people. Number 1 is the avoidance of pain, and number 2 is, we could say, pleasure, right? Because it's pain and pleasure, psychologically speaking, but is to meet a deeply felt need is essentially what pleasure is, right? So we have a need that's met. So firstly, people are predispositioned to avoid pain more than they want to gain pleasure. So for instance, if I said, hey, this experience is going to be pleasurable at a 7, and you should join, or this experience is going to be painful at a 7 and you should avoid it, people will most frequently choose to avoid the pain. And so as we are looking at our target audience and as we're understanding them, first we want to understand what the pain points in their lives are. And secondly, we want to understand what those pleasure points are, because we want to relate with them on both. But typically, helping them avoid the pain in their life is going to be the most effective techniques for marketing. Now, as you download Worksheet 6, I want to encourage you just to read through those 4 steps, get the survey, and then give this survey to the people who meet your target audience. And it's really important that you only give these to the people that meet your target audience, right? So, if my target audience is Jim, who's 32, he's got 3 kids, he works a blue collar job, and he struggles to make ends meet, he never really considers, spiritual things. If that's the person that I'm talking with largely, I am not going to go and give it to, Harold, who's 72, because it's completely going outside my target audience. So make sure that you're talking to the Jims who are 32 with 3 kids and so on and so forth, because what we're going to do later in the next videos is we're going to be taking all of your survey results and we're going to be seeing if we can find any patterns, because likely there will be some patterns, and we can start critiquing our message and orienting our services to the gyms or whoever your profile is, and again, relating with them on a deep and meaningful level to build their trust. So they want to come, they want to stay, and they say, you know what, this pastor, this church, they care about me so much. What is this thing that they're saying about Jesus? I want to hear it more. Why do they care about me? And so that's the goal of this step, is to understand those deep felt needs and the pain in their life. You can read this below, but it's actually a pretty exciting concept, just as I've been thinking about it. When Jesus meets needs, and I was actually just reading this morning, he meets hyper relevant needs, right? There was a blind and mute man, I believe, and he healed both. Right. And that's in Matthew 11. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's blind and deaf or blind and mute, but he healed both needs. Okay. The man born blind, he healed the blindness. And we always take that for granted. Like, okay, the guy was blind, he needed healing, Jesus healed the blindness. But how easy could it have been for Jesus to heal, his stubbed toe? Or maybe he broke a finger when he was 7 and it was, kind of bent or something. And Jesus healed that and overlooked the blindness. And it would just be like, man, but he could have healed the blindness, he could have taken care of the deepest need. And that's essentially what we do as churches when we care about people. And I know you care about people and you want to get out there and you want to meet their needs so that you can share the gospel with them. But when we meet the wrong need unintentionally, we're letting them down, because they're like, man, like, I don't know, I was just expecting so much more. And so as we understand the deep pain points and the deeply felt needs of your target audience, you're going to be able to hit those needs dead on. And when you do, people are are going to just want to hear more about what you have to say. There's going to be a charisma, there's going to be an attraction there, and they're going to be excited to be around you because they're going to feel like you really care about them. Thank you for joining in on this video, and I will see you, we're going to scroll down here, I will see you right here at the beginning of Principle 2, where we start looking for our target audience. I'll see you there.